Hey there! Welcome to another video on my channel. I'm Katarina and today I'm going to bring you a little bit of my makeup history per se. So I'll tell you when I got into makeup, when I started project panning, my past low buys, no buys, all of that. So I hope you are interested, but before I get into it, I just want to say sorry about not really posting for the last few weeks. I don't even know when this is going to go up, but as you probably knew, Max is already here, of course. If you watched my past videos, I was looking for a job and I finally got one and I'm super happy with it and all of that. I've been updating you guys on Instagram, but it's taking up a lot of my time, obviously, and I'm kind of learning how to work with my new schedule, especially because my work schedule changes pretty much every day. So yeah, it's kind of hard. Today I'm taking the day off to film like a bunch of videos for you guys, so you'll see all of this in hopefully many more videos. I really hope that I can film everything I need to film today, and then I can just focus on editing everything. So this one will be the first that you'll see out of the bunch, but I don't know when it's going up, so sorry about that. So starting with my makeup history, Max is not going to rest. He's laying down. Great. Starting with my makeup history, I got into makeup when I was in 8th grade. So when I was 14 years probably, like give or take 13, 15, but around 14 years old. I didn't have the greatest self-esteem when I was a teenager, and I had a bunch of mental health problems. So makeup really was an escape and really helped me, like showing the world what I wanted them to see. Like I really could express myself with makeup, and that was great for my self-esteem, since I could choose how to present myself, if that makes sense, which I'm not sure if it does. But either way, I got my mom's makeup because she didn't really wear it, so she gave it to me and I would use it. Meanwhile, when I was 16, I got my first part-time job when I was 15, and when I was 16 it became like a regular thing, whereas before it was like once in a while. I never knew when I would have a job or not. But yeah, when I was 16, my part-time job became a weekly thing, so every weekend I would work, therefore I would have money every weekend, and I started buying more and more makeup, usually pretty low-end stuff, usually from Essence, because it was so cheap back then. Like, it's not expensive now, but 8 years ago it was extremely cheap. Like, it was great. I missed that time. So yeah, I started buying all of that and I started accumulating. It was also the time of the beauty gurus everywhere, and when I saw their big collections, I was like, yeah, I want to have that much. I don't care if it's from Essence or from Urban Decay, I just wanted to have that much. And I really focused on that, and I spent pretty much all of my part-time money on makeup, which, yeah, it is what it is. I was 16, it's not like I was hoping to make the best choices, but yeah. Also at 16, but like farther down the year, I discovered project panning, and I don't even remember for sure which project panner I started watching at first, but I think it was Rebecca S. I think it's S. It's from Panning and Stuff. I'm sure you guys know her. If you know me, you know her for sure. She's like one of the queens. I love her, and she pans so much so quickly. It's so impressive. But anyways, I started watching her. I think it was her, but whatever. And then I started watching more and more project panners, and I got interested in that. So in September of 2016, I started my first project pan, with a bunch of products that I had just laying around, waiting to be finished. And like, I started with an eyeliner that was this big, because I didn't want to finish stuff, because since if I finished them, I would have one less item in my stash, which is not the goal, remember? I wanted to have as much as possible. So I started project planning, then I got my full-time job at 18, and I started spending more and more on makeup and all of that, even clothes and stuff. And yeah, I really accumulated a lot, even though I kept on project planning as much as I possibly could, but I was bringing in more than I would like to admit, and it's not really the point, but I was bringing in a lot. Then I discovered minimalism when I was like 19, and I started decluttering a lot, but I kept on buying, so not really the point, right? But yeah, I kept doing that, and finally in like, I think it was still in 2019, the times kind of get confused in my mind, but I decided that I didn't really want to keep on buying and decluttering at the same rhythm or at the similar rhythm. I wanted to use up what I had, and yeah, I started focusing on it. I tried to do no buys in the meantime, but I didn't really succeed at those. It was always, oh, it's just an exception, it's just another exception, and my no buys never really went for it. In 2021, during the Black Friday, I bought, I think, 12 eyeshadow palettes, and my mom gave me another, and I decided it was enough. So I decided to really do a no buy this time, and really not buying anymore. So I started a no buy that would last from the 1st of December of 2021 to the 31st of December of 2022. Now, I have a notebook full of notes here. If I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking like, because I can't remember everything. My mind is not that good, not my memory at least. Yeah, back then, I think it was in January, I decided to join Reddit, specifically the subreddit Makeup Rehab. I think I heard Lara from Lara Likes Mascara talking about it, and I decided to join. I'm still there, so if you're there, hey! I'm always lurking around the shadows. I don't really upload there anymore since I'm not really doing a no buy or a low buy anymore, but my account is still up, so if you want to go see what I have there, which what I'm going to talk about today is pretty much a shortened version of that. But if you want to see my updates, I'm Makeup Enthusiast 0. I don't have anything special there. I have my picture, so you'll find me. So yeah, I'm going to go through what I updated on Reddit, and just talk about some of my thoughts back then, and maybe interject with some of my thoughts now. So I started the no buy. It was a replacement only no buy in December of 2021. It lasted 13 months. The only exception that I made for myself with that no buy, because I was really afraid of not buying anything. It was a very scary thought. So I allowed one purchase for myself on my birthday. My birthday is on January, if you don't know. So it was like a month and a half after the start of the no buy. But I ended up not buying anything because I didn't really found anything that I wanted. So yeah, I really didn't buy anything besides replacements for those 13 months. I noticed that my urges came especially from going into physical stores, which I had to do like 3 times back then for buying gifts for other people or stuff like that. I kept seeing the news on like the websites. I have a couple of websites where I keep wish lists, and I kept seeing what they had new arrivals pretty much every day, but nothing was like super sparkly and new and super interesting. My problem was going to the store because it was so easy to pick up the product and just pay for it and bring it home. While shopping online, I would have to wait just at least a couple days, so the spark kind of wore off in those couple days. I decided to keep a wish list, which I know many people, at least from what I read and hear, advise against, like forget all of that, just ignore it. For me, it was like a safety net. If I really wanted that product, at the end of the no buy, I could just go into my wish list and buy whatever I wanted from it. And that was a nice thing to feel, like I wouldn't forget about the product, so I didn't have to buy it right away. So yeah, if you identify yourself with those feelings, those thoughts, definitely keep a wish list. It really helped me. So yeah, I'm just going to mix in the tips and tricks that I found for myself. So yeah, keep notes or not. It's really not that big of a deal. I don't think. I think my tips and tricks are pretty normal, pretty usual. I think this will probably be the more controversial per se one. I started to get bored with my collection around summertime, according to my updates. It was probably because summer, it's not that I wear more makeup around summer, it's just that I wear more fun makeup. So I usually do more colorful looks around summer. I use more of my bright lipsticks during summer. So I think it was a little bit of that and a little bit of in 2022 in the summer. From what I remember, it was when the pandemic restrictions kind of lift. It was at the start of summer, end of spring, something like that, from what I remember. So it was like I could do so much more, but I couldn't buy makeup to accompany that. I had events and I couldn't buy any lipstick to go to that event. So I think that kind of played a part. What I did back then to start to forget about the boredom was reorganizing my stash. I reorganized it probably 12 times, 13, 14. I don't know, but I reorganized it a lot. Pretty much every day. I was extremely bored with my makeup. So instead of buying new stuff, I would reorganize what I had. Like finishing the tiniest item was reason enough to reorganize everything and put everything fitting as nicely as possible again. I really got into Franken products. I've always liked Franken products, but before it was because something didn't work out for me or something of the likes. But at this time I started Franken products just because I was bored. So I was bored with my blushes. I would Franken a new blush with a new undertone or a new shine to it, and it kind of helped, although I got bored with my Frankens pretty fast as well, to be honest. But yeah, I also bought a set of small hair masks. Like I bought a set of 3 of these. They were all different scents. This one is the watermelon one, the papaya one, and the banana one, I think. They are great. They were from Primark and they were cheap. And I bought it to reward myself, and because my hair was extremely dry, my hair was much longer back then, and it was so dry. So I went to Primark one day and I bought that set, and it kind of scratched the itch to buy something, because I didn't to buy anything too specifically. I just wanted to buy something, and the air masks worked, and I didn't have any other air masks back then, so yeah, it was not too bad, and I felt rewarded enough to keep up my no buy. Also, air products were not in this no buy. They never were. This no buy was exclusive for makeup. Also, I decided to one day calculate when would I be done with my current collection. So I would pick my lipsticks, and okay, I can finish let's say one lipstick per year. So I have 10 lipsticks, therefore I have 10 years worth of lipstick, which was pretty eye-opening. And yeah, like back then I remembered that my collection back then would be done at around 2027. Yeah, and I still have items that would be done after that. I haven't done that in quite a while. Maybe I should, maybe I could, but yeah, I really don't want to. It's kind of a scary thought to think that you'll have, in my case, I'll be turning 30 in 2030. So to think that I might still have items left in my 30th anniversary from when I was a teenager is not a great thought. Also, I don't know if they will last me that long. I don't think so. I think some of my items, like blushes, might go rancid before I can use them, which is not a great thought either. But yeah, it is what it is. And my collection, my stash, as I like to call it now, is not even that big anymore. But yeah. Another thing that I definitely noticed was that the keeping up with the no buy and not feel so triggered to buy definitely got much easier with time. Like after I overcame that summertime sadness of not buying anything, my no buy was much easier to keep up. And the only time that I felt triggered again was when Black Friday came. And like, I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but here, as in Portugal, when the Black Friday comes, they do like the Black Week, the Black Month. They do a bunch of sales pre-Black Friday, after Black Friday. So it's like 2 months of constant sales and constantly having to keep up that I don't need anything, I have everything I need, it's not that important, there will be another Black Friday next year, and there are more sales in between. So yeah, but it was a really hard time. So what I did back then, since I really wanted to take advantage of the sales, was I bought replacements. I didn't necessarily need a new concealer and powder right away, but I would need it like in the next month or so. So I made a little purchase and I got my Holy Grail powder and Holy Grail concealers. Those are the same ones that I've been using since, I don't know, 2016, 2018. So I knew for sure that I would use them. I still use them today, so yeah. And with that replacements purchased, I got an 8-pan palette as a gift with purchase. In the website that I made the purchase, there was like a little box with notes for you to say something to the people that are packaging your purchase. And I wrote, please don't send the palettes as a gift with purchase. Don't send it. I repeated myself in hopes they would read it. But they didn't, apparently, or they didn't care. I don't know what's the process of packaging everything, but they sent me the palette and I decided to keep it because it was cute. The color story was very nice, the shadows seemed nice, so I decided to keep it, but I kept it sealed with a bunch of other palettes, the same ones that I had bought in the Black Friday of 2021 that I still had sealed as well. I decided to do it in hopes of extending its shelf life. Yeah, and I opened it last year. So yeah, besides buying my replacements, the only other thing that I bought, I didn't even bought it, I asked for it for Christmas from my sister, related to makeup, was a brush set. My brushes were falling apart, quite literally. Like I would have the bristles on my face after applying my foundation. So I asked for a brush set from BH Cosmetics. They are the same that I still use and love. I really like them. I really like the little pouch they came in as well. So I was pretty satisfied with that, and that also curbed slightly the want for a new makeup item, because the brushes changed the experience of applying my makeup, so that was nice. Yeah, and lastly, I got 3 palettes handed down from my mom and my sister. My sister had 1, my mom had 2, and they gave them to me at the very end of the year, which was not like, it was nice because the palettes that, I think my sister as well, yeah, all of the 3 palettes were palettes that were mine previously. I decluttered them to my mom and my sister, and then they gave me back the palettes. So it was nothing that I wouldn't use. It was like from that time when I was decluttering at pretty much the same rhythm that I was buying. So yeah, I ended up keeping them. To the one from my sister is the H&M one that I'm panning currently. The 2 from my mom, one of them is the Revolution one that I'm panning currently as well, and another one is one that I intend of panning quite soon. So for 2022, my overall data is I used up 69 euros and 85 cents, totaling 24 items. What I count as a money thing is how much I paid for it. So if something was given to me, I don't count any money value towards my totals, or something like a gift with purchase or something like that. I don't count it as a 0 money value, since I didn't pay anything for it. I spent a total of 17 euros and 54 cents buying 3 powders and 2 concealers, so all replacements. I decluttered 1 item, which was an orange loose powder from Makeup Revolution that I got with a gift, as a gift with purchase, like in 2019, 2020. Yeah, I really couldn't do anything with it. I even franked my Hot Mama blush with it a little bit, but it didn't work too well, so I ended up decluttering. My inventory ended up going up by 13 items, because the way I count my inventory, if you haven't watched it, I count each pen. So between the 3 palettes that were given to me, I had 30 items more in my collection. If it wasn't for the hand-me-downs, my inventory would have gone down by 13. Oh, sorry. If it wasn't for the hand-me-downs, my inventory would have gone down by 17 items. So yeah, that's cool, you know. My inventory was at 72 items at the time, 2 over the goal that I had, which was 70. Another thing to note is that at this time I didn't count my sealed items. So for example, the palette that I got as a gift with purchase wasn't going into my inventory. Now I truly count everything, but back then, if I have never opened something, it didn't count. So you'll see a huge jump from my inventory from then to now, but it's not even from buying a lot, it's just from opening what I already have. With that, I have 15 items in my wish list. Nothing too exciting, honestly. I had 5 eyeshadow palettes. I didn't end up buying any of them. I don't think I bought most of what was on my wish list, but once again, even if I had, after 1 year of not buying anything, 15 items in my wish list, I don't think it's too bad. Just saying. In 2023, I decided to switch over to a low buy, where I would have specific items that I could buy, and I made a list for myself, which I'll share with you guys just in a second. And I decided to do that because I didn't really believe that I could keep up with a no buy, a complete no buy. Again, since I was pretty bored in my collection, and my collection was, except for eyeshadows, significantly smaller than what it was before my first no buy. So yeah, I switched to a low buy, and I allowed myself to buy if it so happened. It was not like I had to buy it. No, if I really wanted to, I was allowed to buy 1 color corrector, one liquid foundation, one powder foundation, one banana powder, a setting spray, one eyebrow pen or pencil, just one of the two, one true red lipstick, which I didn't add at the time, another lipstick or lip liner of choice as long as it was unique to my collection, so no repeated colors, or I had a gloss. I couldn't buy another gloss because, in my opinion, glosses pretty much look the same on the lips, at least the ones that I like, so it wasn't allowed, and I was obviously allowed to buy replacements. I spent the two first months with no purchase at all except for replacements, so my no buy ended up lasting for 15 months in total. I wasn't able to find what I wanted to buy at first at the beginning of the year of 2023, so that was why I didn't really purchase anything, because the products would be always out of stock, which was so frustrating. Like, I could finally buy something and the universe was like, I don't think so. So yeah, I didn't really buy anything for 2 months. In February of 2023, I had to buy a tonic for my sister, and I went to Sephora to buy it because it's Pixie. I don't think they sell anywhere else here. And I was like, excuse me, sales lady, can I get a foundation sample? And she was like, sure, why not? Sure, what do you expect from your foundation? What type of skin do you have? And I talked with her, and she gave me a sample of the Dior Glow Skin Glow, something like that, foundation. And it was my sample of the purchase. And I decided that I didn't really need to buy a liquid foundation for that year, so I withdrawn my permission to buy a liquid foundation. The reason why I wanted a liquid foundation was just because I had a couple of events, like a wedding, for example, to go to, and my BB cream wasn't really cutting it. So yeah, the foundation sample worked perfectly and I didn't spend any money. The first purchase that I made was a brow pencil, and said brow pencil was from Catrice. It was waterproof, supposedly, but it really wasn't, and it didn't last too long on my eyebrows, but I have since used it up, so it's fine. I also bought a powder foundation from Primark, which I love. I love the powder foundations from Primark, just FYI. And they are super cheap in comparison to other brands. I bought a banana powder when I was in another city because I went to the drugstore and I found it, which was out of stock everywhere near me, because I definitely visited like at least 5 or 7 drugstores looking for the damn banana powder, and I couldn't find it, and I found it in another city when I was on vacation, so I bought it, obviously. And I bought 3 liquid eyeliners, and they were also from Primark, although they were bought in a different visit. And the reason why I bought those 3 liquid eyeliners when I was only... I don't know, I didn't write it down, but I think I was allowed a liquid liner. I'm not sure. But still, even if I was allowed to, I was allowed to buy one, and I bought one, and it was so great. Like, I would put it on my hands and like wet my finger with some water and like scrub my hand, and it wouldn't come out. So I tried it on my face, on my eyes obviously, and it didn't come out when my eyes teared up with my allergies and stuff. My eyes are always watery, so it's very hard for an eyeliner to stay in place for me, especially when I'm outside in spring or in autumn, which is when my allergies are the worst. So I bought 2 more as backup. It was only €2.50 each, so it was like an exception, but a justifiable one, since Primark collections don't tend to stay on sale for long. And guess what? I was right, because the eyeliners are no longer sold. So yeah, I still have my 2 backups. I'm still finishing up the first one that I bought, and it's starting to dry out now, but I still don't regret it. And my accountability partner, which in this case is my sister, She said it was okay because it was cheap and it was worth it. My other favorite is the Fenty Fly Liner, and it's much pricier, so, and it's not as good. Just saying, the Primark one is top notch, and I should probably not be talking about this, since if you guys are watching, you are probably trying to keep up your no buys. But the eyeliner is no longer sold anyway, so yeah. I got a setting spray as a hand-me-down from my mom. My mom bought it, but she can't really wear stuff with fragrance on it, and the setting spray has a ton of fragrance, like to the point where you spray it on your face and you can smell it throughout the day. At least I can. Maybe my nose has superpowers or something. But yeah, so she decided that she didn't want it, so I got it, and it's the setting spray that I'm currently panning. If you watch my project pan, which if you don't, you should. I also bought a color corrector, so I got my under eye color corrector / under eye brightener. Then I think it's at the beginning of the fall, but Tarte usually has a sale of, I don't remember how many items, like 7 items or something, for 70 something dollars. And I saw the advertisement on Instagram, and I was like, that sounds like a sweet deal. So I got my cart ready and I chose my items and all of that, but when it converted to euros, it was like over 80 euros, which for some reason I didn't like as much. So yeah, after a while of thinking, and I decided to back down because I didn't enjoy the price as much or the offer as a whole. So I just backed down, which I was pretty proud of myself from doing. And yeah, I think the feeling that I got after I decided to no longer buy it was great. And I'm sure if you guys are doing a no buy or some kind of conscious consumerism, you guys probably identify yourselves with that. When you decide not to buy something that you initially planned on buying, it feels great. It's like a small victory, which is really all that the process is about the small victories. So yeah, so profound. So then I start feeling the itch to buy again around Black Friday, obviously. But I decided to buy my family's Christmas gifts, which were perfumes for everyone. I just give perfumes to my parents and my sister pretty much every year. I let them choose them, and I decided to buy those. So the only thing that I got for myself was the samples. But yeah, once again, I overcame the urge to buy for myself at least. At this point, which was pretty much the end of the year, my wish list of those 2 years combined, 2022 and 2023, was smaller than what my monthly purchase would be. My wish list at this point was like 20 items. I was pretty proud of it because I was thinking, like, once again, if I were to buy everything from my wish list now, it would still be better than what it was before, because I didn't even want to buy that much in comparison to what I would previously buy. Another thing that I found out was that using the new items that I had purchased throughout the year really felt special, since they were truly thoughtful purchases that I had considered for quite a while before deciding to purchase them. And I used most of the things that I bought during 2023 almost daily, at least weekly for sure. So that was nice. And the last thing that I bought, which was in the beginning of December of 2023, was a lip oil, which was pretty unique to my collection, since I didn't have any. I only had a gloss, which was the closest thing to a lip oil that I had. So yeah, at the end of the year, I ended up purchasing 10 items, 5 of which were replacements, totaling 29 euros and 23 cents spent. Of those, 12 €12.92 were spent on replacements. Sorry for my English. If you didn't know, English is definitely not my first language, so sorry about that. I used up €32.78, which were a total of 18 items. I ended up decluttering 4 items, all of which were lipsticks, and all of which had gone rancid, which was super fun. Can't you see? It was super fun. I was so happy to declutter 4 lipsticks. I got 2 hand-me-downs from my mom, according to my data. I got 1 gift and I got 1 sample. The gift and the sample I used up. Besides that, I opened up 4 of my eyeshadow palettes that I still had sealed, and those 4 eyeshadow palettes totaled to 98 pens, which in my inventory is 98 more items. Great! My inventory at the end of 2023 was at 162 items, which was 90 more items than what it was at the beginning of 2023. Still, my low buy, in my opinion, was a success because I already had these items. I really only added, like, besides the replacements and gifts, I added 5 items to my collection, so I think that's fine. At the end of 2023, my wish list had 12 items, so even less items than what it had at the end of 2022. At the moment, my wish list is considerably bigger, and I do intend on purchasing quite a bit from it at the end of this month, if I stay at my new job, which everything points to me staying. From now, my colleagues are like hinting that I'll stay. They know more about it than me, obviously, because they talk with our I forgot the word, but like the main manager from all of the stores. So everything points to me staying, and I really want to stay as well. So as a gift for myself, and since now I have to wear makeup every day, and it's not even I want to wear makeup, I really have to. We have to go to work with our makeup done, which is fine by me. It's helping me quite a bit in my project pen, at least in my makeup one. So I will probably buy a considerable amount of items from my wish list, also to keep myself interested in my makeup and to give myself some variety, since my appearance is quite important at work. So yeah, for this year I definitely decided that I would allow myself to buy what I felt like buying. The only exceptions were eyeshadow, blush and highlighter. Those I really don't want to add to my collection because I already have way too much. Not even in numbers, but like it takes me so freaking long to use up a blush or an highlighter, and I really don't want to add any more until I use up at least a couple from each category. Eyeshadows I definitely have way too much overall. So yeah, once again I'm sorry that my words kind of get mixed up. As I said, English is not my first language. Anyways, I hope you liked the video and if you found it informative, or like if you were curious at how did I end up here doing project pens for the internet to see. Not even sure why I ended up here, but yeah. I really hope you liked it, and once again I'm so sorry I haven't been posting. I hope that with me getting used to the new schedule I'll be able to post regularly again. And thanks for being here if you're still here, because I think this is a pretty long video in comparison to what my videos usually are. So thanks for watching. I hope you leave me a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. My YouTube is pretty much all about project penning and things related to using my stash. And please leave me a comment if you feel like it. Even if it's just, yeah, I've tried no buys. I've never tried a no buy. I would like to try a no buy. I always enjoy reading your comments, and I always respond to them. I don't think I have ever left a comment unresponded to. I hope I can continue doing that even with work. I still have the time to respond to comments, just filming that it's a little bit more complicated since I need to be at home and get ready and all of that. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which should be up in a couple days, hopefully. Bye!